Trev said, my daughter always smiles ear to ear whenever I put on a video of yours. And the weekend tweeted some stuff, and I figured Oh wow, that's wholesome. What's up guys, Omni here. You guys know how it goes, another day, another video. Last night I tweeted I sleep what recent news topics, tweets, videos y'all want me to talk about tomorrow. So you guys sit back and relax because today's video is going to be an absolute doozy. We have a lot of crazy topics to talk about for whatever reason. Sunday came and everyone woke up and chose violence. But first guys, we have the what you need to know segment, aka things that I think you guys just need to know, but I'll just let you guys know really fast without going into crazy detail. But yeah, I have 3 things. So number 1, there was a COVID update that basically talks about the effectiveness of COVID. It happened actually as of this morning and it was trending, and it reads, a large US trial published on Monday found that Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine is 79% effective in preventing symptomatic illness and 100% effective against severe disease and hospitalization. This data follows the vaccine's temporary suspension in certain EU countries after reports of it causing blood clots in some vaccinated people, which WHO has disputed, recommending that vaccinations continue. So yeah guys, I just thought I should point that out for you guys. It seems there's a lot of positivity coming about the trials of the COVID vaccine. I know some people are kind of worried about taking it, taking some unknown substance, and some people refuse to take it, but it seems to have a lot of positive responses, and the people that I know personally who've taken the vaccine seem to be doing a lot better and doing completely fine, in case you guys wanted to know that. Number 2, and what you need to know, in anime news, Attack on Titan episodes, I believe it was like 14 and 15 dropped yesterday. In case you guys didn't know, there was a week where there was no episodes dropped because I believe there was an earthquake that happened in Japan. I don't think people know for sure if the earthquake stopped the episodes from uploading, but yeah, there was a double upload yesterday, and there's going to be one more finale episode as of next week. So if you guys haven't watched Attack on Titan season 4, if you're just waiting for the entire thing to kind of just finish as of next week, if you guys want to just go ahead and binge it all at once, you can go ahead and do that. So yeah. And number 3, and what I think you probably need to know, David Dobrik, quick update, he's still getting canceled, he's still down bad, and apparently he's stepping down from his it's an app that he made called Dispo. He will no longer be a part of the making of that app because of the allegations that have been coming out over the past couple of weeks. And yeah, it just seems like he's continued to lose more and more sponsorships as time goes by. All right guys, those are the 3 things that I think you need to know. Now let's go talk about things that you guys wanted to talk about. Yeah, so yeah, you guys have been asking me to talk about this one for a long time now. Damien tweeted, so the woman that got caught on an Uber driver is now being sentenced to jail. Yeah. Jail, sorry if there are some mistakes. I don't speak English, smiley face. Totally fine, Damien. He said caught, but he meant cough. For those of you guys who don't know, there's a story about this woman who was basically coughing on an Uber driver, and it actually shows footage of it. She basically assaulted this man, and it's been an ongoing story about how problematic this person was. She came out and she doubled down on some of the things that happened, and now apparently she's being sentenced to jail. So yeah, here's a quick Fox clip. Hopefully this doesn't get copyrighted, but in case you guys missed the whole coughing clip.
Brutal Uber attack we showed you last night. Remember this video? A woman is under arrest in Las Vegas accused of assaulting a rideshare driver in San Francisco. The driver.
This is just wild. Like, she just coughed on this dude, right? And then she reaches in, grabs his phone, and then these 2 girls right next to him are sitting there trying to defend her actions. Like, bro, like what the hell?
Told police that he
threw the phone back up in the front.
One of the passengers wasn't wearing a mask. Well, this dash cam video shows one woman coughing on the driver, grabbing his cell phone, ripping off his mask.
Yeah, it's just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
One of them pepper sprayed the driver.
What?
San Francisco police say a second woman indicated she is now ready to surrender.
Wow, I did not know about the pepper spray. So holy freaking moly. Woman who coughed on Uber driver could face up to 16 years in prison after being charged with 2 felonies. Arna Kimaye arrested on Sunday after turning herself into the police. Oof. That's some juicy karma. So yeah, I'll read this article for you guys just really fast so you know what's going on. The woman who coughed on San Francisco Uber driver in a video that has since gone viral has been charged with 2 felonies and additional misdemeanors amid the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. Arna Kimaye, 24, who has also filmed shouting racial slurs and pulling off the mask of Uber driver Subhakar Khadka last week, is facing 1 felony charge of assault by means of force, likely to produce great bodily injury against a transit operator. Good. She is facing a 2nd felony charge for first-degree attempted robbery on a transit operator for allegedly trying to take Mr. Kaka's phone from the dashboard of his vehicle. Miss Kimae, I'm gonna just say Kimmy, has also been charged with battery on a transportation driver and violation of a local COVID-19 health ordinance, both of which are misdemeanor offenses. Dang, that's what happens when you get caught in AK, bro. You can't say nothing. You're just done. It's fucking stupid. So basically I scrolled down and basically just repeats what actually happened in the video. And then I saw this paragraph. I thought you guys might wanted to hear this. It said, her friend Ms. King was also filmed shouting, "I've got corona," during the incident. What the bro? She was arrested last week after turning herself in and was charged with assault with a caustic chemical, assault and battery, conspiracy, and violations of health code. That's just, man, people are just, bro, like, people are just messed up, man. Like, that's why you can't trust people, bro. Like, there's just some wild, crazy people out here who are just terrible and just want to ruin your life for no reason. This is just imagine if the driver actually got COVID from this situation. Like, imagine how messed up that would actually be. After Mr. Kaka ended the ride early, Miss Kimmy repeatedly threatened to assault the driver before she and her friends left the vehicle. Police noted that she attempted to pepper spray Mr. Kaka before fleeing the area. So yeah, guys, that's the person getting coughed on situation in a nutshell. That's just, it's a very gross display of human behavior, but I am very, very glad that justice is being served and this person is being prosecuted to the highest degree. They'll probably be used and made an example of. I doubt that she will face like the actual 16 years, but definitely damage has been done. I believe she's been banned on Uber and she's been banned on Lyft, and everyone knows her face. So yeah, garbage human being. Justice is served. Oh God. All right, here we go. A lot of you guys told me to talk about this. Amanda tweeted, Jschlatt getting canceled for offensive jokes, his latest Jackbox video. And it's a screenshot of Jschlatt looking at a picture of blackface. And in this video, it said, "We made this game terrible," on his Jschlatt live channel. And yeah, this was trending a lot. And in fact, if the whole Game Grumps situation didn't happen, I'm pretty sure this whole Jschlatt thing would have probably taken over the entire Sunday, which is my guess is the purpose of what he was trying to do. I think Jschlatt purposely tries to get himself canceled so that Twitter can go crazy about it, and then he can get more publicity. I'm pretty sure this was all done on purpose. But yeah, apparently Tyler the Destroyer said not just canceled, he was doxxed over this. People for real leaked all his personal info because they didn't like his jokes. Dang. Oh, that sucks. And he said, honestly, it's stupid how people get offended over this, as one person said, and somebody, quote, retweeted, honestly, it's stupid how people get offended over jokes about racism. So basically kind of showing the divide, how there are some people who are like, I can't believe you get offended at Jschlatt's racist jokes, and someone's been like, bro, I can't believe that you support Jschlatt's racist jokes. Yeah, anyway, guys, if you go to the channel, he has since replaced the thumbnail. This time he put dumb bird, where before it said blackface. It's obviously just clickbait. Like, Jschlatt knew what he was doing when he made the thumbnail. He knew the attention that he was trying to get. So yeah, I'm just gonna sift through and see if I can find the whole reference to blackface, because I'm not gonna watch a 10-minute video right here with you guys. So yeah.
Here we go.
Oh no.
Brace for impact.
Kind of happy I went early. Got trapped.
All right. Like all of us, I have an issue because I'm always craving saying slurs. Now, here's the solution to not get canceled for saying slurs. Because we all know about identity. And if you identify as an oppressed group...
What?
That's
you can use the old art of blackface. And through this, you won't get canceled for saying slurs, but you might get canceled for something else.
Oh, that's wrong. That's horrible.
It's a plea bargain, you know? You didn't run a red light, but maybe you weren't buckled up.
Right.
You can hit I'm done now.
Alright, so yeah, the segment was told by Swagger Souls, and I personally found it funny. Unfortunately, a lot of you guys might be watching this video but like, no, Omni, why did you laugh? Why? I actually have a dark sense of humor, and I don't mean that a dark sense of humor like I'm just laughing at all the terrible things that people say. But in terms of humor, for me, the way that I feel is if you say something and it's funny and it's probably a topic you shouldn't talk about, I don't think it's completely off limits. To me, if you are funny, then you can almost joke about anything and get away with it, kind of thing. And yeah, I did find this segment kind of funny. I can see some people getting offended by it. I'm not trying to say you're not allowed to be offended, but me personally, I thought it was funny. However, guys, Twitter did not like Jschlatt's joke. In fact, if you just type in Jschlatt at the top of Twitter, you will see hundreds and dozens, I believe it was like thousands actually at one point, of people talking about Jschlatt. And some of the most trending ones were actually people who were basically saying that they hate Jschlatt. So I'll just read a couple. This person said, controversial topic, but I really don't want people who support or dream Jschlatt, anyone in that circle, to be following or interacting with me. Now, so a lot of people do this too, by the way. They put Dream and Jschlatt in the same bucket. I mean, yeah, they're both popular YouTubers, I guess. But Jschlatt is, you know, he's not more of a Minecrafter. He's more of just an entertainer slash streamer, whereas Dream is like 100% a Minecrafter kind of thing. He's in the Minecraft YouTube community. This person said, I don't want Jschlatt fans near me, and you can retweet this if you also don't want Jschlatt fans near you. This person tweeted, can y'all stop defending Jschlatt or whatever his name is, and showed the thumbnail of him, you know, being like, whoa, at blackface. So yeah, guys, there's an official Twitter account called Time Since Jschlatt Has Been Canceled. He says, joking. It's at 22,000 likes. And yeah, like literally, I guess it's been 1 month and 1 week. This guy gets to the point where he does something so outrageous, he gets canceled. There's an actual official Twitter account about it. That's basically how almost uncancelable this guy is. Like, it's like, if you have an actual Twitter account based on you being canceled, then you're never going to get canceled, at least in my opinion. This person said, if you like, watch, support Jschlatt, please block me right now. And I don't actually care if it's hyperfixation. I don't want you here. Now, look, I think it's important I think it's important for there to be both sides of this discussion here, okay? Because I'm basically saying like I'm not offended, but I do know that there are people who are offended, who do not like Jschlatt or his content or the things that he's been saying. So I think it's important to look at both sides. This string in the conversation said, I have him blocked, but did he do something recently? In which somebody replied, recent YouTube video containing a lot of racist, ableist, anti-Semitic jokes and 9/11 jokes. Dang. Okay, so I just want to say, by the way, I only watched the one portion of the video, the blackface thing, and I just, you know, just saying I found that part funny. I'm not trying to give a synopsis on the entire video because I haven't watched the entire video, and I don't, you know, I'm not saying that I support the entire video. I'm just kind of saying like that clip specifically to me was kind of funny. I can understand some people not finding it funny, but I did. So yeah, this person who appears to be black in their profile picture said this, and I think it's good that we get the word out on both sides, okay? We have to understand why people are upset, and we have to see both sides of the situation. We can't just laugh at something and be like, ha ha ha, it's funny, you know, stop being offended. I think it's a good idea to take in people's, you know, criticism. And this person said, I feel like some people don't get why minorities don't like when their struggle is the butt of the joke. So I'll try to explain why I don't like it in this thread. And it's a quick thread, by the way. And it said, I'll give it to y'all. The jokes may be funny. They might be jokes that I will make with my black friends, but it's not a joke that a white person or any non-black person should make. Simple. It's not funny when your ancestors use the word or a way of thinking plus to demean my ancestors. It's not funny when you do. We aren't laughing. It doesn't matter if you're joking or you think it's funny. There's a certain weight that those jokes and way of thinking have coming out of the mouth of the oppressor. Continuing, I only speak for black people, but I'm sure many other minority groups feel the same way. For me, it's saddening that some people won't even take our feelings about them making the jokes. And finally, this is why it sucks seeing CCS of the likes of Jschlatt make jokes like these. I don't know what CCS says, especially since I know that they can be so funny without these types of jokes. This kind of indifference to the feeling of others that really sucks. Sad face. So yeah, guys, I felt like this was a good, respectful way for someone to basically express how they feel about the situation. Like, in a way where they're not being hateful. I feel like this is a good thread for someone to basically say, hey, this is how I feel and this is why it hurts me. I do say the part where they said I only speak for black people, I'm not a huge fan of that because I don't think every black person feels the way that they feel, but yeah, for the most part, I understand how they feel. Anyway, so yeah, apparently the entire situation led to Jschlatt also getting doxxed, his personal information and his address being posted for everyone to see in certain places. I don't know if it was Twitter, but I was able to verify that yes, the information did get leaked out. And yeah, guys, my overall opinion on the situation is that, like, just because I found that joke funny doesn't mean that I can't see why he could be problematic. I don't see the underlying issues between, I guess, a white person telling jokes about black people and joking about blackface. I get why people are upset, but I think the issue and everything falls down in line with different strokes for different folks. Comedy is such like an interesting topic to talk about when it comes to things like this because you can mask a lot of the information and ways that you feel about a person or a type of people behind a joke. You know, you can, like, if you're a racist but you just say that it's a joke, then you can kind of mask it in a way where you publicly flaunt it. I'm not going to pretend like that doesn't exist. But at the same time, I feel like when it comes to comedy, I don't think it should be like censored. I think a lot of things should be on the table, and it's so hard to kind of describe what shouldn't be or what should not be, what should be acceptable, what should not be acceptable, because everyone has different gauges. Everyone has different, I want to say, levels of what they feel is acceptable and not acceptable. And some people believe like, hey, if you make any kind of joke about any person anywhere, that's bad, you know? So do we just use this person as truth? Some people be like, you can't do this. They say black people can't joke about white people. They say white people can't joke about black people. There's all these people basically have their own values and beliefs when it comes to comedy and humor and censorship and what should be allowed and what should not be allowed. And I understand why Jschlatt's humor is seen as problematic, but I also see why people also like his content as well. And I don't know what the solution is to it. I don't think you cancel him. I don't think you try to change him either. It's just, it exists. And yeah, but that's the situation. Let me know how you guys feel about it, okay? I think I've expressed enough about how I feel about the Jschlatt information situation. I'm not a huge supporter of Jschlatt, but from the content clips that I've seen, it has made me laugh. But yeah, that's just kind of how I feel. So Unreal AMV said, can you cover the hashtag LifeWithoutMenWouldBe? Like, this type of stuff needs to stop. Honestly, my only request from Omni. Okay. So yeah, guys, if you don't know, yesterday LifeWithoutMenWouldBe was trending on Twitter. So let's go look into that. And the first thing that I see when I click the hashtag is life without men would be terrible. There would be no anime, meaning no Goku. So obviously, I'm guessing this was like maybe a hashtag that was created by some very, very strong feminists that were basically like, yeah, what life would be if there was no men? And they probably made that trend. And then it probably got taken over by men and just other people in general. And they basically memed it. So it might be kind of hard to actually find the root cause or the actual tweets that started this. Hashtag life without men would be awful. We would have no $19 Fortnite card. I hate you guys. I hate Twitter so much. Life without men would be awful. There would be no DaBaby. Stop it. Stop it. Why is DaBaby everywhere? This man is a meme now. Like, he's just everywhere. This is a good example of what the hashtag has become. Life without men would be welcome to Twitter. Choose your path. And on the left-hand side, you got crap poster, which is everyone we've probably already talked about so far. And the other one is the sexist. So you got two pills you can take. Choose one. So you guys, I could go on and on because there's so many stupid, funny memes with this hashtag. But, then we would turn this segment into a meme review. And I'm not trying to do that. I mean, I do want to do meme reviews on this channel, low key, but we won't do it on this episode. But yeah, it's just like one of those hashtags that's just very toxic. It's like, it's toxic feminists that make actual feminists look bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, like the hashtag life without men would be is just basically hating men and basically women who hate men, basically spreading that hate. It does nothing to solve any kind of equality or justice or bring any kind of awareness. If anything, it just pisses off a lot of people and makes people more toxic. But high key, and look, don't cancel me for this, but I have thought about the concept of life without men in terms of like, what if life was done in a way where women were in charge, or if women were like in power? Like if the power scale started tipping and women started becoming in charge of all of these places, and becoming the first woman president, women officials across the world. If women were running things, I am curious to see how things would go. You know what I mean? Like, I would want to see what that alternate parallel universe would be. My guess is obviously there would still be its fair share of issues because humankind is just, it's humans. We're humans. Whether you're man or woman, you're still humans. But at the same time, I do know that obviously with men in charge, they have been had to take responsibility for all the terrible things that have happened, but all the good things as well. So yeah, I am curious if there is a parallel universe of women actually running things and how it would go. My guess is that it might go a little bit better. That's my guess. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of funny. Last but not least, guys, you guys knew this one was coming. This was the big chungy wongy for Sunday news that was trending all over the place that unfortunately clouded Jschlatt's, cancellation. He basically got overshadowed by what appears to be Dan getting canceled from Game Grumps. In case you guys don't know who Dan is a member of Game Grumps. Game Grumps having him and also having a guy named Aaron as well. They also had somebody named JonTron, if you have never heard of JonTron before, but I believe he left back in 2013. I believe he got canceled because he was basically spewing out the N-word, and I think he also had some beliefs that not a lot of people were happy with. I can't remember the details, but I remember it being pretty bad. Now guys, look, I'm gonna give you guys the PG TLDR version of this because I'm not trying to get this video demonetized, but I don't think you actually have to worry about it because a lot of people were worried about that this allegations that were coming out about this guy was having to do with something like some P stuff, some P filing stuff, that they were worried about that. However, after a lot of research, which I have been doing because a lot of you told me to become, know what I'm talking about before I come into the video, and I try to become, as much research as I can. But yeah, the whole concept of him being P filed does not not seem to be sticking. And in fact, it appears that a lot of the allegations that are coming out aren't sticking as much as well. It's a little flimsy. Some people are basically debunking it. And yeah, there's more to the story than just Dan getting canceled because he did bad things. So I'm going to try to fill you guys in as much as I know about the situation. So actually, Evan Lind, he actually tweeted this to me this morning after I had already done some of the research. He said, hey, Omni, I spent several hours putting the Game Grumps controversy into a timeline. There's a lot of information here, and I provided as much as I could from important sources. And I kind of read through this just very briefly, but it looked very well done, and he spent several hours on it. So I was like, all right, let me just go ahead and read this off for you guys, since it seems to be a very nice digest of what's happened. So it reads as follows. Hey everyone, a lot of information has been coming out from others, mutuals of Dan, etc. So I want to summarize all of the important information you need to know. I will address the victim in question as the fan, aka is this your bird? I will also provide a TLDR timeline at the very bottom. Please read if you want a short 30-second summary. I'm going to read the whole thing so that you guys can have all the information. Note number 1, this will not be covering prior accusations. This is focusing solely on the current accusation. Note 2, any of this gets disconfirmed, incorrect, or if I'm missing any info, I will edit this post immediately to represent accurate information. The last thing we need is this situation is misinformation, which I agree, because as you kind of look at the situation with Dan, is easily starting to look like something like shades of, what's my band name? Pro Jared. This kind of gives me shades of Pro Jared, where someone comes out with some information and people just jump on this bandwagon of cancellation without actually looking at the full story, and this is basically what's kind of happening. Note 3, a lot of this information that the fan, age 24, DM'd another user of today's incident, meaning this is coming from the source herself. However, it is very possible that these conversations could be faked. So please take this timeline with a grain of salt. Nothing has been confirmed yet. And finally, note 4, and this should be obvious, do not DM insults or death threats to the people mentioned in this post. This is not an expose timeline. This is to help summarize everything. So I like that. You know, he posted this in the Game Grumps section. For those of you guys don't know as well, I mean, they'll probably explain it in here, but the person, the fan, they posted this in a subreddit called, I believe it was called Rant Rumps, which apparently there's a subreddit called Rant Rumps where people rant about Game Grumps. But I don't even know if I explained this, by the way. Game Grumps is a YouTube channel where they play video games. They're like one of the OG Let's Play YouTubers. And that's it. That's all you really need to know. A lot of people grew up watching their videos. But yeah, apparently they have a subreddit where people like complain and rage and get mad about the content, which I find kind of weird. You know, like imagine you have like a PewDiePie, you know, Reddit, and then you have a subreddit where it's like hate PewDiePie. Like that's a lot of negative energy in one place. And yeah, and by the way, before I get started to the nitty gritty, there's no sexual assault here, guys. I don't think there's anything in terms of trigger warnings that you need to be worried about here. I think it's actually okay when I talk about all this stuff, because based on the information, none of that actually exists. So yeah, he said, before the storm, summer 2013, which was 8 years ago, a mutual of Dan hangs out with him every day during the summer while Nikki was in college. This is not the fan in question. Nikki is 22 and Dan is 34 years old. Dan encourages Nikki that Nikki should bring along a friend every time they hung out for safety reasons due to the age gap. I guess 34 to 22 is like, what, 12 years? Okay, so I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's a terrible age gap that people need to be worried about. I was actually watching this show on Netflix the other day, something about like millionaires being married to like people, and it was like this dude who was like 60 being married to this girl who was like 20. So I was like, I'm pretty sure if they can publicly make money on Netflix on videos like that age gap is not something that anybody needs to worry about. Those are two consenting adults. Anyway, it continues. She explains the situation more in tweets later mentioned. In September 2013, the fan contacts Dan. Fan mentions how Dan should visit, and Dan replies that he will be there to do some tours in 2014. The conversation ends with the fan stating, "Love you, man." And yeah, guys, here's the actual conversation that was presented. It says, "Thanks, you rock, and so does blank. That's where blank is." A lot of it got, you know, I guess hidden for personal information, and said, "Oh my goodness, I'll hide my loved ones. You should be in blank. We could be best friends, Dan." This is the fan. Yeah, and which Dan said, "I'm actually hoping to visit there and do some shows in early 2014. I will keep you posted, woo." And the fan said, "I'm so excited now, and yay, love you, man." Anyway, to continue, he said, "It's unclear how these two met. However, it's confirmed that the fan met Dan at the age of 17, which this source here shows a bunch of tweets that I'm not going to go into. Okay, there's a lot, but apparently it's confirmed here. Continuing, October 2013, Dan wishes a certain fan a happy 18th birthday on her Facebook wall. This means that Dan was texting platonic texts with the fan before the age of 18. December 2017, Dan sends the infamous tub video to the fan via WhatsApp. The fan replies, "My God, I've never seen something so beautiful and fancy. I really wish I was there too." Dan replies, "If you feel comfortable with the idea, you should send me a little video saying that you'd like to F me in that tub. That would do things for me. Ha ha." So yeah, guys, this was 4 years later. You see October 2013 to December 2017. So the person in question who was down 18 is down at this point 22. And so yeah, continuing, he basically explains it. Sexting occurred when the fan was already 22, 23. However, there is conflicting evidence from a mutual friend of Dan, aka Nikki LeComte, or hashtag Nikki Homicide. The heck? That's a name. Who claims that she has seen this specific video before. The video was sent directly from Dan to Nikki, but not personally. She says it was likely sent in a Snapchat story or a Facebook group chat. She believes that the video was taken out of context. So yes, the controversy begins March 21st. Reddit user NotBlarg states that the fan has come out to NotBlarg privately to present the story and R rant Grumps. He states that at the end, their conversations turned into sex and eventually led to her meeting him backstage at Game Grumps live show where the sexual activity occurred a couple of weeks after all contact from Dan ceased. Followed by, it is very important to note that in the Reddit post, NotBlarg weirdly words the order of the story, presenting the latest sex first. They first present the infamous tub video at the text first. Then it states that Dan was normally texting her when she was underage, technically true, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's just a little bit more detail. You don't really need to know that. I'm trying to get to the more nitty-gritties of this information for you guys. It is also very important to note that NotBlarg is a very active user in the subreddit Rant Grumps. In fact, NotBlarg has only ever posted in Rant Grumps since 2018 and has not posted in any other subreddit. So this person basically only exists to hate Game Grumps. Rant Grumps is known to often consist of members actively attempting to cancel the members of Game Grumps. The other times are legitimate concerns about Game Grumps and how they've changed. So that's what I was kind of saying earlier. Like, there's a subreddit just designed to cancel Game Grumps, which is just, that's so weird. That's so creepy. So yeah, continuing, a mutual of Dan she supposedly helped work on Ninja Sex Party lyrics came out due to the controversy. There's a lot to unpack from this thread, which I'm not going to read because we would be here forever. But again, this person summarizes the events, thank God. She refers to the topic of ghosting. I know from experience that Dan 110% will respond to texts or pick up calls from people. I don't think that matters. I don't think ghosting is important. No one cares if someone ghosted anyone, unless the victim themselves or the person who's coming out to make these allegations is basically saying that they came out because they got ghosted, but I don't think that matters. But yeah, this person said, Nikki states that Dan knew the age gap was weird. She was 22 and Dan was 34. So Dan himself encouraged Nikki to always bring along a friend whenever they hung out so that Nikki would feel safe, which is, that's super reassuring. And like, even if you guys don't even care about the whole 34 to 22 age gap, or maybe if you feel a certain way about it, I think that's someone confirming that they're encouraging someone to bring a friend just so it doesn't look awkward or weird is I would say a pretty good thing to see. Like, again, you might not believe it needs to happen, but it shows that he's trying to be safe, at least. He's not trying to be a predator, at least it doesn't look like to hear. While Nikki did not feel anything romantic, she does state that they felt like they were more than friends and felt safe around Dan during the summer that they hung out. Nikki also states that Dan would constantly say, bring a friend, you two can take my room if you need to crash, I'll sleep on the couch. From these dates, it's safe to assume that Dan hung out with Nikki in the summer of 2013. So this Nikki person is basically vouching for Dan's personality and character, based on her experiences, what seems to show that he's a respectful dude when it comes to women and their comfortability and their safety. I'm not saying that this statement means that Dan didn't do anything, because, you know, people can always be respectful and then they can do something bad later, obviously, of course. So I'm not saying that, but I think it is always good to have, like, especially someone who's a woman, basically say, yeah, just from my experiences and based on what I've seen, this does look to be taken out of context and is a little sus. And this part is really important. So March 22nd, most of these Reddit posts are deleted and the specific time is unclear. However, from reading the context, the fan basically got into a conversation, supposedly jumped onto Reddit to talk about the situation. The fan and Great This Again 2019 got into an argument on the original accusation post. The conversation was deleted, but then Great This Again DM'd the fan about more information. Again, there is a lot here to unpack. The fan was chuffed as Dan complimented the fan for being beautiful and wanted to hug her. her, Dan does tell the fan that it would be weird for him, age 34, to be talking with the fan, age 17. Take notice that this is the second time Dan has taken precautions, okay, blah, blah, blah. The fan is glad that she hasn't done anything to hurt Ashley, Dan's current girlfriend. A friend of the fan suggested that she need to check out the current controversy with Dan. She also states that she isn't too familiar with Reddit. It clarified that the fan is now 25 years old. She then gives her opinion on the situation. Quote, "It's not illegal. It's just a bit of an abuse of power, I'd say, especially leading some of us, if not all of us, on." Okay, so that's the quote that she said, the fan, basically saying like he didn't do anything illegal. She just feels like he abused her power. So now the conversation shifts from did he do something illegal when it comes to the p-filing or the drooming. I'm scared to say these words because I feel like we get demonetized. But it moves from that to, okay, now this is a YouTuber basically having a relationship with one of their fans, which is a topic in on itself. But it's important that you distinguish these two separate things because one of these things is really, really, really bad. And the other one is kind of like frowned upon kind of thing, but it's not something that's going to completely destroy your career. So yeah, finishing up, the fan never stated that Dan groomed her, okay? That's important to know. And not blog and the whole RN Grumps subreddits formed that opinion themselves. She thinks back as she says that back then she thought that being with Dan was her being happy and lucky. Now she thinks that she should have played video games, specifically Wind Waker instead. I'm more personal a fan of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, but you know, Wind Waker's okay. After this part of the conversation, great, this again, 2019 deletes his Reddit comments. So basically people were basically getting the history of deleted comments that was important to understand and know because it had context between the actual fan talking about the situation and how they felt. So yeah, guys, that's basically what happened. There's a TLDR at the timeline, but we don't have to do that because we basically, you know, read it ourselves. But yeah, I do like the end. It said, as of right now, there's no official statement from any members of the Game Grumps. And I also must address that the information coming from the fan can very much be faked. Please take everything here with a grain of salt. And yes. So yeah, guys, that's the situation in a nutshell. When I say a nutshell, that's just the full details of the entire story, not really a nutshell. But what you basically need to know is that this situation, it was a lot more complex than someone comes out, says something, and they get canceled. It's one of those situations where I think everyone's afraid. You know, when someone comes out and says something about someone big, everyone's afraid because it happens so much in the gaming community. And it's always important to just basically be like, okay, here's more information. Some people will just jump down the throat of someone's side and be like, yes, they are the terrible people and they don't deserve a platform. How dare he? And, you know, automatically believe someone. While there's got to be situations where we've seen, like with Pro Jared, where there was accusations that came out and then eventually it took him like months. But he did gathered all the information, gathered all the intel, and basically debunked almost the entirety of the thing. But this man had to basically suffer with being canceled for like months at a time. So it's like, it's something that you have to be careful with, and it's something that you have to get the full information in before you try to take a stance. I wouldn't take any kind of strong stance until at least both sides had said something, and even then, gotta give it time for it to air out, I feel like. But yeah, if everything that has been said here is factual and is truth, it seems like this is a situation where potentially a girl was upset that she got ghosted by a huge public figure, and she basically wanted to air him out. And then this subreddit that really hates Game Grumps basically turned it into a controversy where they're going to try to cancel him because it seems like the subreddit is constantly trying to cancel them in the first place. Speaking of which, ex-member of Game Grumps, John Tron, had tweeted this right after the whole situation came out. This was like 5:51 p.m. He said, "Does this mean we finally get to finish Sonic 06?" Which it's man, it's like he's definitely throwing salt on the wound of what's happening here with Dan. Some people thought this joke was funny. Some people thought it was distasteful. Some people decided to start, you know, trying to cancel John Tron again because of the things that he did in the past. But yeah, this tweet blew up as well. But yeah, that's what happened. I tried to put in all the facts and the information for you guys. I want to be very concise with this situation because I don't want to leave anything out. At the same time, I don't want to read you the whole freaking narrative, but it's really important, especially when someone's career is on the line. The accusations are this big and blown out that it doesn't get, you know, misinformation doesn't get spread out. So my goal is to, I'm not a news channel, I'm a commentary. I like to just talk about what's happening on Twitter. But when I'm talking about something, I'm just hoping that I'm covering the majority of things that's being talked about, all sides, so that you guys can come to your own conclusions, because I don't want to influence you guys on how you decide or feel about anything. You know, I'm just talking. And guys, last but not least, but this is probably important, a lot of people have been asking me this too. Mongo has said maybe it doesn't have to be related to the Game Grumps thing, but just discuss, talk about your thoughts around what a healthy relationship between a YouTuber and his fan base should be, or her fan base. But sorry, I did that, but you know what I mean. Anyway, somebody said, good reply, my G, this up. You know, I gotta say this, to be honest, like I'm much more open and free-minded when it comes to, like, I guess, parasocial relationships between a YouTuber and their fan. You know, like when this whole situation happened, a lot of people, including me, I made kind of a joke talking about how, like, you know, the only person I trust is Markiplier. And then people were like, do not trust creators. Don't you dare do it. You know, like, creators are imperfect. Like it's kind of weird to me when people say that, because the idea of saying that YouTubers are imperfect and that they are human makes it seem like, okay, yeah, fine, they're human. What's the problem with trusting a human? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to take a YouTuber down and say that he's not someone special, take him down the pedestal. You want to make him an average humor, then are you saying, like, trust no humans? Is it not okay to have faith in a person based on what you've seen? Like, no one's saying that someone has done nothing wrong. I don't think anyone is claiming that someone has done nothing wrong, but I also don't think there's something wrong with putting faith and just somebody, whether it's a content creator or it's your best friend or a human being. Like, again, if we're trying to humanize these content creators, then I don't understand what's wrong with having trust. Yes, trust can be broken. Having trust doesn't mean that you blindly believe everything that they say, but it means that you just want to have faith in the person. And personally, I don't feel that's wrong. Second, when it comes to parasocial relationships, I guess I'll say this. Like, I guess the aspect here is the whole concept of, like, dating a fan, which goes back into, like, everything. I'm pretty sure every top big person has basically at one point in time in their careers, if they were dating someone, dated a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're like, I don't know, Justin Bieber, and you date somebody, there's a good chance that they were a fan of yours. You know what I'm saying, dog? Like, anybody could be a fan of your content. Does that mean that you can not date them? I don't think so, but I do think, and there are specific situations where top creators and content creators do sneakily try to pick up their fans and use that whole dynamic of them being, like, you know, someone that they look up to and idolize. In my opinion, I think it's a little bit more complicated than just, like, you can't date a fan, because then it's like, well, yeah, bro, I can only, you know, date people who've never heard of my content, and if they've heard of my content, they just gotta not like it. Like, so yeah, I think the idea is that they're trying to remove the dynamic where someone is basically using their position to overpower somebody. I think that's the whole dynamic that people are trying to avoid. And I think that if you are a creator, that you should probably try to avoid that the best that you can by just being very careful with who you date. You know, not going into DMs, finding someone like 18, 19, I've been watching your content forever and forever, and then going there and start posting, like, you know, like nasty messages. Like, no, that's kind of creepy. I don't agree with that. So yeah, and guys, yeah, to clean this up as well, when it comes to, like, parasocial relationships between like me and you, or a YouTuber that you watch, I think the way that your relationship is with them should be whatever it is that you want. Whatever it is that you want from me, then just take it. That's the relationship that you want. Some people watch me for news. They don't care about my personality or how I'm doing. They just want to hear what I have to say so they can be informed. Some of you guys watch my content and you kind of like my personality. You've been watching me for years and years, and you guys just, you know, want me to grow and prosper. And I really appreciate that, by the way. And you guys have a little bit more attachment to me, which I think that's also fine as well. I think as long as it stays within the realms of being healthy and it doesn't go to, like, the dream stand levels where people are harassing and hurting and assaulting and abusing people online because of their love for a person, I think that's where it starts to become a little bit dangerous territory, because it starts hurting other people. But in my opinion, if your relationship with a YouTuber is not hurting anyone else, then I honestly don't care how you feel about me or those people that people keep telling you to do. Like, I don't know, guys. Like, for me, there's a pet peeve where there's a lot of virtue signaling on the internet where people will be like, don't do this. Don't say that Markiplier would never be canceled. Don't put your faith in content creators. They're not your friends. Don't say that you're friends. Don't love them. Like, I'm like, bro, don't tell me what to do, okay? Mind your business. I'm gonna do whatever I want. Don't make me feel bad for doing something that makes me feel good if it's not hurting people. And I know I'm going off on a kind of a little rant right here, but it's something that I've seen on the internet. But you guys have asked me this question. I think as long as it's healthy, as long as it's not hurting anyone, there's a net positive, then just do what you want. And, you know, as long as it doesn't reach the point where it's becoming unhealthy and or hurting any other people, do what you want. Anyway, yeah, I know that wasn't news. That was kind of more of a ramble segment, but you guys asked me, so I decided to, since it was, you know, based on the topics. But anyway, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys made it to the end. This was a big doozy of a video. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor, like and subscribe. I forgot to say in the beginning of the video, but if you forgot to do that, can you just do that for me, that would be really helpful. And yeah, I hope you guys stay safe. Let me know how you guys feel about all these situations in the comments below. I'll be there replying to as much as possible. And yeah, you guys stay safe out there, man, because these streets ain't safe. And I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.